You're watching Dallas Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Luka Magic struck again on trade deadline day, that of course being last night, Thursday night, in a 112-105 victory over the LA Clippers at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Appreciate everybody for joining today's show. Luka went off. I mean, what can you say in this performance? On a day they trade Kristaps Porzingis, Luka Doncic goes for 51 points, including 28 in the first quarter. 2 points shy of Dirk Nowitzki's franchise record. Also had 9 rebounds and 6 assists. When you factor in the 6 assists, he factored in for over half of the Mavericks' points in a 40-minute bloodbath effort for Luka. Almost a double-double there. 17 of 26, 7 of 14 from 3. He was 7 of 9 in the first quarter. I mean, what can you say? Luka Doncic is the Clippers' daddy. I don't know if Terrence Mann has a stepdad, but he's got one now. His name is Luka Doncic. I mean, you think about what he's done to the Clippers over his career. Last year, he forces Pat Beverly out of the Clippers' rotation, basically gets him traded. I'm going to give Luka credit for that. Also, this year, he's pointing at Terrence Mann, who's trying to talk smack to Luka, and Luka's like, yeah, you see that number up there? I got 43 on your head, and there's still time left in this game. He is the Clippers' daddy. It does not matter who they throw at him. Doesn't matter who they try to guard him with. It don't matter. He averages like 40 in his career just about against this guy. I think I read last night he's got 7 40-point games now against the Clippers out of 17 total in his career, and he has a 38 and 39-point game against them. I mean, he is their daddy. What can you say? It is just so dominant when he plays these guys. I mean, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are injured, and like, God, he's doing this again. I mean, he was doing this when they were in the lineup in the playoffs the last couple of years. It's impressive. I do want to transition that because he's playing really well over the last 10 games or so. Could he make an MVP run? Is he a dark horse MVP candidate? I think it's possible. I mean, look, it took about 2 months for him to really get going this year. Came into camp out of shape, had a couple of minor injuries, got COVID. So, I mean, that all kind of slowed down the start of his season when he was the betting favorite to win MVP coming into the year. His odds aren't good. All the way down there at plus 4,000, which I think decent value. Throw a little 5-piecer down, no big deal. If you win, you'd get $200 if you win. Obviously, you're going to need some help. Like Joel Embiid would probably have to miss some time with injury, maybe Jokic as well. But let's say Luka averages 30-plus the rest of the way and maybe flirts with the triple-double average while shooting the ball great, which his last 10 games he's shooting over 50% from the field, over 42% from 3. I mean, hell, maybe the Mavs get the 4 seed, they make a run, and if he does this without Porzingis now, it's possible. I wouldn't completely rule it out. When he finds these modes that he's in right now, he's maybe the best player on the planet. I mean, he is that damn good. Will Luka Doncic win MVP this year? I'm still going to type my in for no, but what seemed impossible 3 weeks ago is at least a possibility now. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Let's talk a little bit more about the Porzingis trade because we heard from Nico Harrison last night after their win over the Clippers. Mark Cuban sounded off a little bit as well. This was interesting to me. He said, quote, I think KP's an incredible talent, but we needed that shooter in Bertans, and we needed a ball handler in Dinwiddie who could create a shot, and unfortunately that was the only way we were going to get them. It was that simple. Getting 2 guys who fill roles that we really needed, and the fact that we have played okay without KP, but I think that doesn't take anything away from KP being a great talent, and I actually think he's going to be better with the Wizards than he was with us. The end of that is really interesting. So what is Cuban saying? Does Cuban think that KP's all of a sudden going to be healthy? Because Porzingis was good with the Mavs outside of the end of last season in the playoff series. Overall, when he was healthy, he played well for Dallas. So he either thinks one of two things. One, the Wizards just have some better system in place for Porzingis, which, I mean, they're a much worse franchise than Dallas, so I don't really buy that. Or 2, that he's just all of a sudden going to be more consistently healthy. I guess it's possible in theory, but that's why they traded him. He could not stay healthy. I also don't buy the crap that Cuban says where he says, it wasn't anything against KP. We just needed a guy like Dinwiddie and Bertans. Dude, you traded Porzingis because he couldn't stay healthy. That's it. Like, I mean, it's okay to admit it. Here's the thing about the Mavs, and I'm an MFFL. I have been my whole life. Cuban doesn't like admitting to mistakes. And hell, he's a proud guy. He's a billionaire that got to this point. Like, I don't blame him. But the reality is, I'm not saying the trade was a mistake, But the reality is it didn't work out. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And since he kept getting hurt, they decided to trade him. Now, more on Nico Harrison in a moment, but first, shout out to Fanatics because they still have this hoodie on sale for 30% off. Go pick it up today, chatsports.com/Mavs hoodie. It is on sale for a limited time only. It's been chilly recently here in Dallas, so stay warm. Pick this one up today, chatsports.com/Mavs hoodie. Now, Nico Harrison was asked, obviously, a lot about the trade deadline, the roster, etc. moving forward. After the game last night, he said the Mavs roster is set, which obviously could mean a variety of things, especially with Goran Dragic, which we'll explore in a second. Quote, I think we're set. I mean, I don't think we're scared of anybody. I think we're good enough to compete. It remains to be seen, but I also think that we also have room for improvement. I mean, and that's true all the time, right? You can always improve. I think what this means more than anything is don't expect Dallas to be active on the buyout market, especially initially, and that probably means no Goran Dragic in Dallas. And I think, look, when you signed Spencer Dinwiddie, that kind of went away, right? Like that was not going to be the case once you made that trade. I said sign. Once you traded for Dinwiddie, that's kind of the role that you were going to bring Dragic in for to come off the bench. We'll explore Dinwiddie's role more a little bit on, but you've got Luka, Brunson, and Dinwiddie as your primary guards. In a pinch, Burke and Ntilikina can play that role as well. Obviously, Dragic's better than those bottom two guys, but why would he come here unless he wants to play 12 to 15 minutes a game at most? And again, I don't want to take minutes away from Jalen Brunson or even Dinwiddie. You just traded for him. I want to evaluate him, see how he plays. So don't think Dragic's coming to Dallas. What do you guys think, though? Would you still pursue it? Would you still sign Dragic? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Look, again, he's better than Trey Burke, but I don't think it's super realistic. I'm going to type my P for pass. Something that is realistic is 16,000 subscribers is just around the corner. Help us get there. We had a big day at the NBA trade deadline. Appreciate all of you who tuned into our videos, especially the KP trade. I know there's a lot of mixed reaction on that one, but you guys seem to enjoy it, so I appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos, more Dallas Mavericks news and rumors, and all of a sudden you look up, it's like 25 games until the playoffs, man. Like, it's going to be here before we know it. So subscribe, and let's make that playoff push together. All right, let's explore Dinwiddie a little bit more here for Dallas, as I think he's going to be your sixth man. I mean, I don't want to mess with what's going on in the starting five with JB, Jalen Brunson, and Luka Doncic. And so I think you bring in Dinwiddie to be that kind of sixth-man guy. He can run the offense. He can help score, help fill that gap that Tim Hardaway left, obviously. Hasn't been playing that well for Washington this year from an efficiency standpoint, but historically in his career, when he's come off the bench, he's played a lot better. And that's why I think he needs to continue to do that, or get back to doing that, I should say, in Dallas. When he was the Nets, like, sixth man from 18 to 20, and sure, he started some games in there, but his best role was coming off the bench. 19 points, 5.5 rebounds, also had some assists as well, 4 or 5 a game. 43% from the field, 32 from three. He's never been a great three-point shooter, but if you can get to 42 and 32 compared to 37 and 30 or whatever he's been this year, I mean, that's obviously better. Plus, he can just give you, some lightning in a bottle off the bench, which is what you need now. You need that bench scoring now that Tim Hardaway is injured. It could help take some pressure off Luka as well. When those two overlap on the court, Luka can play a little bit off ball to kind of sneak in some rest while he's actually in the game as well. So I think that's going to be good. I think that's the role he needs to play. He needs to come off the bench, and I fully expect that to be the case. And I think him running the second unit wouldn't be bad. And if anything, I think it's a chance it could be good as well. I'm hoping coming into the system, his efficiency will come up, especially as he continues to get more and more games under his belt after that injury that kept him out for most of last season. Should Dinwiddie start or come off the bench? Type S for start. Type 6 for be a six-man, because if he doesn't start, he's probably your I don't know, what's the word, conductor off the bench, if you will. Get your votes in. S for start, 6 for six-man. We'll see you soon here on Dallas Mavericks Today.